right? Shalom, Kol Halayim, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to all sincere Akim on the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth in all sincerity. All right. My name is Micah Allah, Bun Gab, Bun Yasha Allah, from the Watchman Philadelphia camp. You know, and I'm gonna just it's been on my spirit, just to do a little sit down on the Gentiles. All right, because you have, our people, like you have certain groups pushing, like in specific that I know, you have certain groups pushing that as long as you're a dark skinned person, or whatever, you're an Israelite. Which that's false. You know, because you have us on all four corners of the earth. So that means you're not going to look like a traditional Israelite, man. You had when I first came into the truth years ago, man. You had people talking about some. Well, it said Jacob's face will not wax pale. Waxing pale was talking about being ashamed, man. But people take words literally, man. So I'm gonna read a little. It's just basically that's out of this book right here. You know, if you can see that. It's the Bible history. And this is from the section that's talking about the first Bible translation. All right, so basically it's just letting you know like about Gentiles and all that. And then I'm going to hop into the scriptures. But it says the Jews lived under Persian rule for about 200 years. From the time that Cyrus overthrew the Babylonians until Alexander the Great conquered the Persian Empire in 332 BC. Beginning in 323, when Alexander died, Palestine and Egypt came under the control of Alexander's former general Ptolemy I, who was succeeded by his son Ptolemy II in 285 BC. It says Ptolemy II was a great ruler who fostered learning. His capital at Alexandria, Egypt, became the chief center of learning in the Mediterranean world, noted for its extensive library. It says by Ptolemy's time, large numbers of Jews, here we go. It said by Ptolemy's time, large numbers of Jews had left their home to work and study in foreign lands. You hear that? It says in foreign lands. It says including Egypt, and they spoke the Greek language. So guess what? You have dudes now talking about if you don't speak the Hebrew, you're not a real Hebrew. These Jews spoke the Greek language, man. Just like you have, and they were Gentiles. Why? Because they didn't know they were Jews. The same way that you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans speak all these different languages. Like for one, Puerto Ricans, what they speak Spanish, man. That's not their language, man. All right, you have the so-called Negroes, right? What they speak English, man. You have Jamaicans, which is Benjamin. They speak that patois stuff, all right, which never was our language. So this is explaining. It says, all right, it says spoke the Greek language, received a Greek education, and adopted many Greek customs. That's just like you niggas now, man. That's just like you niggas now. Speaking all these different languages that's not yours, because it's not Paleo Hebrew. It's not your original tongue, man. All right? You speak all these different languages and you get raised up in school. What? By who? In whose schools? The so-called white man. They give you all your philosophy. That's why you had yesterday was Halloween, man, which was the Day of Souls, man. You know? Our people follow after all these different traditions and customs, and it's not our customs. That's why we at the point that we are now. And that's a whole different other topic. But it says, I'm gonna start that. It says, and adopted many Greek customs. In time, these dispersed Jews, known as the Jews of the diaspora, Greek for dispersion, Greek for dispersion, found themselves unable to read their own scriptures. So they found themselves unable to read their own scriptures, man. Which is right now, but it's in English. But our people don't even understand, you know, their own everything that's pertaining to them. Our people don't know that they're Israelites, man. They don't know that they're Israelites. They don't want to know that they're Israelites. They want to be Muslims. They want to be Catholics. They want to be Protestants, you know. Edomites, which is the so-called white man, but everything comes from the so-called white man in the society. Salakia. Which you already have, like, you know, which this book right here is telling you that Israel's scattered abroad, man. Okay? Reading on, it says, found themselves unable to read their own scriptures, which were written in Hebrew. It says a translation into Greek was sorely needed, and one was produced in the 3rd century BC. It was the first translation of the Bible ever made. All right, I'm gonna stop right there, man, because that's letting you know right there that our people are Gentiles, man. You know, Gentiles that the Bible speaks of. And why is that? Because they didn't even know that they came up under a Greek education and everything. They ain't come up under the education of that Yahweh Bashim outside had for them, which is being a Hebrew. And also that lets you know that if they spoke Greek, so what was written 4 times for understanding. So if back then those things happened, right? Which I'm gonna give you some scriptures on it. If those things happened back then, what's so different about right now, man? There's no difference from back then and now, man. All right, and the first scripture I'm gonna grab, you know, is the book of James. Okay, this is the book of James, chapter 1 and 1. All right, this is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. It says, James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. So it says to the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad. So what it mean by being scattered abroad? That means you're on all 4 corners of the earth, man, in every different nation. And eventually you're going to start looking like those other nations after generation and generation and generation, man. You know? Which this is a stumbling block to a lot of dudes because they can't even get that. And this is something that simple. Because it's all according to the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, man. Which dudes can't even, they can't look past, because you might have an Israelite that looks like an Arab. You might have an Israelite that looks like a Chinese man. You might have an Israelite that looks straight up like a so-called like a so-called white man, like an Edomite, man. And guess what? We coming into a time where you're going to have to decipher these things. Look at Cornelius, man. Salakia. Look at Cornelius, man. All right? He was a devout man in the Roman army. He gave much alms. You think he looked like a traditional Israelite, man? And he was an Israelite, man. Which, matter of fact, Salat. Because and you can read that about the region that he was from, man. Okay? Because you got a lot of dudes that had a problem with that. They don't believe that Cornelius was an Israelite. And I'm going to read to you. Let me find it real fast. Salaki Hakim. Just bear with me. And not wives. The wives. Okay, here we go. This is Cornelius. It says a Roman soldier stationed in Caesarea who was the first recorded Gentile convert to Christianity. All right? Now it gives you Acts chapter 10, 1 to 33. I'm going to keep going. It says Cornelius was a God-fearing man, strongly attracted to the Jewish, what we know that's Israelite teachings of monotheism, the belief in one God. So now, if he was strongly attracted to these things, he had to be an Israelite, man. Because you ain't gonna have no heathen nation that's gonna take to this truth like this, man. They gonna wanna I ain't gonna yeah they're gonna try all types of ways to debunk it and try to downplay it. Why? Because they know it's truth, man. All right. And yo, it says he was a God fearing man. So who's the only God fearing people on the face of this planet, man? Is you so called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. These other nations don't fear the Most High, man. They don't fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's why every law and everything that they have goes contrary to this. Contrary to, they anti-Christ, man. They're against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They're against the children of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. You know? It says, as opposed, here we go, as opposed to pagan idolatry and immortality, and to the concern expressed in the law of Moses concerning helping the poor and needy. That's Acts chapter 10 and 2. Now Cornelius gave much alms, man. He gave many alms, man. All right. It says, he is introduced in the book of Acts as a representative of thousands in the Gentile world who were weary of paganism and who were hungry for the coming of Hamashiach. It says the Messiah, the Christ, which is Hamashiach, who would deliver them from their sins and lead them into an abundant spiritual filled life. Now, if you look up, now you have two kinds of Gentiles. You have Hellenistic Gentiles, which are non-Jews, they're Greeks. All right, they're people of another nation. Now you have Jews, which are ethnos, which those are Jews that just don't know who they are. Okay, they are the same gene, which is genos. All right, which is the same gene. That means you come from the same people, man. All right, well let me hop back in here just to give you a better understanding, because there's two types of Gentiles. Right now we're talking about the Israelite Gentiles. All right. And I hope I ain't jumping around too much for you. But it says, James 1 and 1, it says, James, the servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. So he called them my brethren, man. Count it all joy. Why would he call them his brethren if they wasn't of the same genus, or the same gene, or the same or of the same beliefs, basically? All right, they all on the same page, basically, so to speak, man. All right, but Paul had to come, and that's like not on the same page, but Paul knew that they were Israelites. They just didn't know it. But you have dudes that look at the Bible and be like, "Yo, man, you know what? That dude, he looks like an Edomite, so he has to be an Edomite." We the salt of the world, man. All right, this is Deuteronomy, just to give you a better understanding. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Okay, this book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 64. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and stone," man. So what do you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans do right now, man? You serve gods that your fathers have not known, man. Wood and stone. You got the Puerto Ricans in the Latin tribe, heavy in the Santa Maria. You know, you got Benjamin. What Benjamin? Benjamin is heavy on idol worship too, man. They like voodoo worship like the Haitians, man. You know, you got you Negroes. You heavy into the Christian church, man, and heavy into Islam. All right, I'm gonna read that again. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. And it says, "And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall scatter thee among all people." So if you scattered among all people, that means you're not amongst your own people. And why did the Lord do that? It's a curse, man. That's why it's in the chapter 28 of amongst all the curses, man. Because the Lord scattered us. You also have Daniel 9. Matter of fact, I'm going to just keep going, man. But that's why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua scattered us for our disobedience, you know, and put us amongst all these other nations, man. Since you wanted to worship idols, He's going to put you in a land where they worship idols. Like America, look at you now, worshiping all these idols, and our people don't even know that they're Israelites, and we have to. That's why it's our job to come on here on the YouTubes and things like that, hit the highways and byways to open our people's eyes. And we only searching for the elect, man. All right, because they're the only ones that's going to get this message, man. They're the only ones that's going to get this message, man. I'm going to finish this, so I'm going to read it again. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 64. It says, "And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth unto the other." So if He's scattering you from one end to the other end, from one end to the other end, that means, you know, that's all around the earth, man. All around the earth, man. From one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone, man. That's self-explanatory, basically. Now I'm gonna hop to we're gonna go to 1 Peter, okay? It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 1. It says, "Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, though sanctified of the Spirit unto obedience and sprinklings of the blood of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, grace unto you and peace be multiplied." So he's talking to people in all these different regions, man. All right? Which are Israelites, man. It said they were strangers. Why was they strangers? Because they did not know that they were Israelites, man. All right? The same way that our people now, right here in America, they don't know that they're Israelites. That's one of the main reasons why we go out there and teach them, whether you hear or whether you forbear. And our whole message right now is for the elect, man. We here trying to seal the house of David, man. All right. The house of Saul's not going to get it. They're going to know that they're Israelites. All right. And they're going to buck up against a lot of things, man. Just like you got a lot of dudes now, man. But the house of David is going to be after the Lord's heart, man. Okay? So that's what our people like. This is not a game, it's not a joke. And if you got dudes out there teaching different doctrines, you know, and like the church, they teach us that Gentiles are other nations. Which right now I'm telling you that I'm showing you through the scriptures, because the church is not going to go through these scriptures to show you that, man. All right? They're not going to go through the scriptures to show you that. They're going to call themselves Gentiles, which they are Gentiles. And I'm talking about these black churches. They say, "Oh, we're not Jews, we're Gentiles." You know? Not even knowing that they really Jews, but that statement that they make, yeah, they are Gentiles, but they don't even know why they are Gentiles, man. It's simple and plain. All right, this is Isaiah Salakia. This is Isaiah chapter 11. Hold on, Salakia again. Isaiah chapter 11, verse I'm gonna start at verse 11. This is Isaiah 11 and 11. All right. This is simple, simple scriptures, man. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Asia, Salakia, from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth, man. You hear that, man? From the four corners of the earth. And it's talking about all these different nations. You have Egypt, you have Pathros, you have Cush, all right, you have Elam. But Elam are the so-called southern Asians, man, which is them Hindus, them dot heads. All right. So you have Israelites scattered on all these places. So you think if they live over there and they've been living over there in that region, that they're gonna look like the traditional Israelite, man? Do you think that? If you do, you out your mind, man. But you got dudes pushing that doctrine, and guess what? When these race wars pop up and all that, because you might have you not might, you have, all right, which they guess the story of the wheat and the tares. So you have Edomites that look like Israelites, and these dudes that push that whole, as long as you're black, you look black, and this that. Once all these race wars and everything pop off, you're gonna take one of those um you're gonna take a liking or take one of those Edomites that look like Israelites into to your fold or whatever, however you want to call it, and they're gonna end up betraying you and killing your ass, man. Why? Because you're not spiritual. But you got Israelites that'll look at a guy that looks like an Edomite and want to learn the truth. And what they'll do, they'll push him aside. Oh, man, forget that dude. That's a cracker. That's not a spiritual man. Okay? You have to remain spiritual in this thing, man. All right, this is a matter of fact. I'm gonna keep going on down. It's Jeremiah 31 and 35. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31. I'm going to start at verse 35. It says, Thus saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, which giveth the sun for light by day, and the ordinances of the moon, and the stars for light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from me, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever, man. So that's the Lord letting you know, man. If the sun stops showing his light and the moon and all that, depart from him, he said that's when Israel will depart from being a nation from him forever. All right? So he put us aside. He put us on timeout. You know, he's punishing us right now. Okay? But he never turned away from us and took the covenant and the promise away from us, man. But you have dudes teaching that like, oh, well, you know, he went to go to teach the Gentiles. And who were the Gentiles? The Gentiles were Israelites, man. And Israelites didn't even look like Israelites. It's that simple, man. It's that plain and simple. All right? But you have dudes that they teach different doctrines and everything like that. But guess what? They're going to be held accountable for that. Because this is every idle word that you speak, you're going to be held accountable for that, man. All right? You see, like, yo, the Lord never gonna turn away from us, man. Okay? This is Malachi 3 and 6. I don't want to be too long, and I'm already running long. I just wanted to bring out a couple quick points just to prove to you that the Lord never, for gave it to the Hellenistic Gentiles, so to speak. All right. This is Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. It says, "For I am Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed," man. So yeah, if you're not being consumed, all right, that means he's not going to completely do away with you, destroy you. All right, I'm going to read that again. This is Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. It says, "For I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, I change not." So the Lord gave us the covenant at Mount Salakia. He gave us the laws, statutes, and commandments at Mount Sinai, man. All right? He gave them to us. He didn't give them to any other nation. He chose Israel and said that he would never turn away from us, man. All right, so if anybody out there is teaching any other doctrine besides that, they're going off, man, and they completely wrong. They lying to you. All right? He changes not. He says, "For I am Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed," man. You're not consumed. That means he's not completely taking you out. Unlike he's going to do Esau. Okay? He's going to do Esau like that. But as far as Israel, yeah, you're going to get punished. All right, we're going to get punished. But he's not going to completely do away with us, man. Or go to another nation and be like, you know what? I ain't dealing with them hard-headed, stiff-necked niggas. I'm going to bring it to you Edomites. The Lord ain't never say that, man. As a matter of fact, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 7. Now, here go another banger, man. It says, "O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, though all countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee." All right, so that's letting you know that the Lord gave us the confusion of faces, man, because of the trespass that we trespassed against Him. All right, so that's letting you know that you're not going to look like the traditional Israelite. You're not going to look like that, like me, so to speak, man. A dark-skinned man with a woolly beard, you know. You might have straight hair. You might have blonde hair. You might have blue eyes, man. You might have chinky eyes. You might look like them damn dot heads, man. You might look like all that. And it's all according to your spirit, man. All right? It's all according to your spirit, man. Matter of fact, I mentioned about Cornelius. I believe this is, matter of fact, this is the book of Acts. All right? Let me get this for you. Because our people like, man, that's why they destroy for the lack of knowledge, man. And guess what? If you're not a spiritual man and knowing, you know that we're gonna look like other nations, and it's just common sense, man. You look around, man. You got them people over there. I believe it was a group called the Jabberwockies, man. Looked like a bunch of gooks, but they was breakdancing and all that, and they was nice, man. Ain't no gook doing that, man. It's the book of Acts, chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 5. All right. It says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. Wow. You hear that? I'm gonna read that again. This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 5. It says, "And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under the sun." So a devout man is a dedicated man. All right, and these Edomites, they're not going to be dedicated to this truth, man. These dudes were out of every, and it says out of every nation under heaven, man. So out of all these different nations, Israelites were there. Israelites are still there to this day, man. Wherever is people on the face of this planet, I guarantee you it's an Israelite. And are they going to look like the traditional Israelites? No. All right. It said just like it says devout men, so was Cornelius. Cornelius was a devout man in the Roman army, man. And don't the Roman army. So if America is Rome reincarnated, okay, you got niggas that's in the American army. You got spicks that's in the American army. You got wetbacks that's in the American army. And why am I using those words? To get your attention, man. Because those are the words that these Edomites call you. And guess what? You're Israelites, man. But you have all these people and that's in the American army. Which guess what? Back then they was in the Roman army, man. Okay? It says verse 6 says, now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? So yeah, all the ones that were speaking, this was on like the day of Pentecost, man. You know, when the Lord gave them the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, and they started speaking in all the different tongues and nations. Why did they have? Why did the Lord give them that power to speak in those tongues? Why? Because Israel was in all those different nations. Every tongue that they spoke, Israel was amongst them. So they had to get through to them, so they could understand. And that's an example of spiritual power right there. That's just like you don't know a language, but all of a sudden you just start speaking it fluently. And you understand, and that person right there is understanding. He's looking at you like, yo, how does nigga know that? You know? That's how you know these Gentiles, which are Israelites, which is ethnos, and that's the Gentiles that I'm speaking about. All right? That's the Israelites, that's the Gentiles that I'm speaking about, you Israelites, man. All right? Here we go. I'm gonna end it on this one. This is a perfect one to end it on. All right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1. It says, now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, which, what we just read about, they had spiritual power. That was spiritual gifts. Because they spoke in all different tongues, man. And the people understood it. They understood it. They didn't know those languages, but the Lord put the Spirit on them, right? To start speaking those languages. Languages to get through to his people, man. God says, now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I will not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away under these dumb idols, even as ye were led. Salakia. It says, even as ye were led, man. Alright, so I'm gonna read that again. It says, now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. So guess what? When you grow up, you don't grow up knowing that you're an Israelite, man. Your mom teaches you, oh, you're African American. Oh, you're a Puerto Rican. Oh, you're a Jamaican. Oh, you're Haitian. Oh, you're a Mexican. And then they take you to churches and tell you all these different type of denominations or whatnot. You know? They tell you all that. And that's the way you raised, man. So that's the way I was raised. I was raised in the church, man. Thinking that I was an African American, a black man. You know? But now I'm in the truth and I know who I am. So that's why I'm here to teach my people, man. And let them know who they are. According to Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shah, man. Alright? And it's not about your color and none of that, man. I might do another part lesson on this one, man. I'm not sure. It's all according to the Spirit. But with that, man, I hope that you brothers are edified. You know, because we coming into a time where, you know, it's going to be race wars. And everybody's going to be going crazy. So you're going to have to be spiritual, man. And be able to read people's spirits, which you should be able to do right now, man. and read spirits and know, like, yo, you know what, that guy, yeah, he's an Israelite. You know, because like you're gonna be tried, man. You're gonna be tried. We all gonna be tried, man. You just have to remain spiritual. All right. With that, I hope you brothers were edified, Salakia. You know, and I want to say I'm gonna leave it at that. And with that, Shalom.